7th grand final win and a record equaling 8th Super League title, because they won as league leaders in 1996. They lead by 2 points to nil as Lachlan Coote gets the second half underway. And can it possibly be as full on as that first 40 was? As there is much in the tank. Batteries recharged after that half-time interval, and there's just as much vigorosity in that Saints defending right at the start of this second half. Here is Greenwood for the Warriors.
Will it be as full on, Bill? Yes, it will. 40 more minutes to go before this season in 2020 is over, and both sides will not show any weaknesses.
The kick from Hastings, collected by Lachlan Coote, scorer of the only points so far is Regan Grace, but Joe Greenwood's back in the side tonight, very quick to close him down once at St Helens. Greenwood made 77 appearances for the Red V. Here is Kevin Agama, just inside his own half as he is brought down. 3 tackles gone. Kyle Amor.
You guarantee that both coaches will be really happy in the opening 40 minutes, and they're talking about not panicking because opportunities will present themselves in the game if they keep still working the processing, working to the game plan. Sooner or later, somebody's just going to crack.
Coote goes to the air early on, and French claims it. And here is Bevan French countering for the Wigan Warriors. A chance to go downstairs and hear from Jenna Brooks.
Thanks very much, Bill. Wigan's head coach Adrian Lamb called it a really competitive first half. He's extremely happy with their defensive effort, and he's just asked the boys for more composure when they get the ball up their end. Christian Wolf has also called it a great game of rugby league. He said that there will be an opportunity at some stage when fatigue comes in, and they just have to be ready to take it.
That's exactly it, isn't it? Because the chances are going to be few and far between.
Bill, I keep coming back to those key words, those 2 words, patience and control. Controlling your emotions, and when the game means that you have to defend, turn up Wigan, turning the ball back inside, trying to target those middle men as they did in the first half.
On the last, Luluai. Kick into the corner, and Coote having nothing to do with it. Good kick.
And just as the ball goes out of play, when at half-time a number of the players, the squad members from both sides, Wigan and Saints, were all congregating, socially distanced of course, congregating, all saying to each other, how good was that first 40 minutes? So both teams, both sets of players knowing what a classic match this has been so far.
But only the penalty goal from the man in possession at the moment, Lachlan Coote for St Helens. That is all that separates these two sides. Here is fresh-faced Jack Welsby. Here is more experienced Zeb Taylor, 36 years of age, parting company with the Saints after this game. Didn't think he'd be in Europe that long when he signed, and Farge, did he cling on to that? He did. Miraculous from Theo Farge.
Great effort that, wasn't it, from the Frenchman? Sean O'Loughlin was celebrating. Look at this.
Oh, his life would have flashed in front of his eyes then, bobbling a ball in front of Wigan defenders.
Is Joe Burgess back on the field after that head injury? Came through his assessments. And French, Roby flying in to complete the tackle with Zeb Taylor. And that is the first time we've heard that set restart.
Well, the lot called the referee, hasn't it? In terms of the ruck speed and the wrestle, we often find in grand finals fewer penalties given, and that's the first occasion Chris Kendall has blown his whistle and given 6 again.
There was only 3 set restarts last time these two sides met, and that was the fabulous game that we were speaking about before.
Greenwood. Lou McCarthy, Scarsbrook just hobbling away from that tackle. Seems to be all right as Wigan move into Saints territory. Here is Luluai. The pass reaches Jake Bibby. Bibby manages to cut infield and stay on the pitch. That's the 5th tackle. The ball with Tommy Luluai now. Luluai loops the pass on to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin to Hastings. Hastings, little kick ahead. Hastings will chase it, and Lachlan Coote, nowhere for him to go.
Quality play at the back from Lachlan Coote. He spots the danger when that ball shifted over to Wiggins' left. And when Sean O'Loughlin gives it to Jackson Hastings, he knows that he's got 3 players on the outside of him, but he also knows that Jackson Hastings is a runner. He spots some space, he kicks the ball, he puts pressure on Coote, and that's what it means to the coach.
So Wigan forced the goal line dropout. Coote scuttles it along the ground towards the halfway line, where Sean O'Loughlin brings it back. He's played more than 500 games and in 8 grand finals, Sean O'Loughlin, and he's this evening succeeded Jamie Peacock in the record books as the oldest grand finalist. Here is Tommy Luluai. Luluai, lovely. Oh, Bibby couldn't take the pass. It went behind him, or he went in front of it, one or the other.
They created that space, Wigan. If that pass is just probably 2 or 3 inches more accurate, Bevan French ticks one for his corner as well. You can see Regan Grace knows he has to shut that play down. But Saints turning up, making sure they've got bodies in the way. Lachlan Coote, when he was around about the vicinity when the goal line dropout was forced, the amount of ground he had to make up was unbelievable.
Wigan, early stages of the second half, but they've started strongly. And again, getting to the edge and almost exposing the Saints' defence. Here is Kyle Amor now, signed another 1-year deal like Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, extending his stay with the club. Fage. Eventually the tackle is completed and Kevin Nagama picks up and runs.
You know, both sides are finding it really difficult to find some space. I think it's going to be like a show and go from a halfback that's going to break the side down.
Fage kicks and it finds a bit of space. It bounces and French.
They've done a good job on Bevan French, haven't they? He's had no room, no space whatsoever. Has made countless breaks during 2020 LMS. Trying to shut Joe Burgess down, making sure he doesn't break the line either.
Succeeded in doing that. Here's Jake Bibby, signed as a centre, but has come on as a wing. Of course, we mentioned Liam Marshall missing out. Got to also mention Don Manfredi again.
Yes, just bumped into him as well. Disappointed to be missing out, but keen to get back for next year.
Here is Greenwood, who got the call after Ben Flower was ruled out tonight. Hastings kicks downfield. Grace is underneath that one, came straight to him. Luluai, another really strong tackle from him. Jack Wellsby now.
Bill, when you're defending in the middle of the field and you see the wingers come in to carry the ball off the ruck, you know that they're not going to shift the ball. You know that you don't really have to worry about the space on the edge, because that's where the wingers would normally be. You just got to make sure you bottle up that defence around the play of the ball.
Hastings has got a whack in the face. I think a stray boot maybe. He's still on the ground on the halfway line. That's the 5th tackle. He's in quite a bit of discomfort. And I think it was tail end of that previous tackle.
He's down low, isn't he, around about the boots. And while he's trying to get his feet, Nagama, while he's trying to steady himself, plant that foot,
it's purely accidentally, isn't it? The left one,
purely accident.
Played hooker last week, didn't he? I thought he was really strong. Like 54 tackles he made in that game against Hull FC. No Sam Powell, so obviously someone had to step into the breach, and it was that man Jackson Hastings. Took away his running game, obviously, for Adrian Lamb, but he knew what he had when he put him there.
There's a little bit of blood, isn't there?
Just a little bit.
Just on the cheek there. It was an intense carry from Nguama off the back of, I think it was Theo Fage, who wasn't put to the floor. The referee said play on. Ball hit the floor, ball carrying arm hit the floor, tackle was made. Yeah, looks like he's got two. He's definitely caught the studs, hasn't it?
Lost in last year's grand final with Salford, Jackson Hastings, and then made the move to the Warriors. And a lot of speculation towards the conclusion of the regular season about where he might be next year.
Yeah.
And yet he's staying with Wigan.
They'll have a number of options next year in that department. Adrian Lam, a former number 7 for this great club as well. And thankfully for him, his half-back, wearing 31 of course, is fit to carry on.
And Saints in possession after that run from Nagama. On the last, it's Coote, man of steel contender. French underneath. Isaac Makinson arrives to make the tackle.
Again, he catches that ball, and Saints, well, again, I cannot emphasize how much energy you need to keep doing this time after time after time, and do it accurately as well. Still make those tackles.
Good offload from Sean O'Loughlin to Sam Powell. There is O'Loughlin again, and Greenwood now. Hastings, Sean O'Loughlin. He made his first grand final appearance. He was a standoff in 2003 for Wigan against the Bradford Bulls. Oh, Coote, the ball goes backwards. Went back, says Chris Kendall. Play on.
You can even see the experience with Lachlan Coote, knowing that he didn't quite have that ball, then he just turned his body backwards. You can see, look, he just makes sure the ball goes behind him instead of in front of him. Again, the Saints side are making meters. They're starting to get some quick play the balls here.
Makinson hit that one at pace and made some good yards.
Yeah, 12, 13 metres on the bump, on the front foot. Saints
a bit of momentum just at the moment, making some inroads. Here is Kyle Amor now. Amor, good leg drive. That's the 5th tackle there, 20 metres away from the Wigan Warriors try line as the ball reaches Lomax. Lomax onto Coote. Coote, little grubber kick from Coote. And again, the immaculate Bevan French is there, but he cannot escape the clutches of the Saints follow-up. And it'll be another goal line dropout.
We have got 2 outstanding fullbacks on show here. You just look at Coote there, he doesn't panic. When Thomas Luluai just comes up in the line, he knows that he can't pass the ball, or Zach Hardacre, sorry. He knows he can't pass the ball, so what he does, he kicks the ball behind, and he knows that Wellesby and Regan Grace will be there to pressure Bevan French, who is key for this Wigan side at the back.
So Saints get the ball back, and it is with Kyle Amor. Gets away from the first challenge. Bullock came bullocking out to get him and missed. But still, the side separated by 1 penalty goal by Coote right at the end of the first half. Fage. Bullock makes the tackle. Roby picks up darts. Still going, Roby looks. You can see him scanning, looking to see what was on, and it very nearly opened up for him. It's O'Loughlin makes the tackle. Fage, Willie Isa pounces on him. Moments hesitation from Fage, and Isa was all over him. Roby, the ball is back with Lomax. Lomax kicks into space, and Hastings looks a mess, but he gets to the ball. He's blood all over his face. Piratical look on the face of Jackson Hastings.
That's an enormous kick, that, from Johnny Lomax. That is quality. Look, he looks over. You've got the Saints players outside, directing him where he wants. And LMS and Johnny Lomax chasing up his own kick, looking to build that pressure, drop the ball behind the try line.
Matty Lees now. Saints enjoying most of the possession. in the early exchanges in this second half. Here is Louis McCarthy, Scarisbrook, but again Wigan's defence is resilient. Here is Farge now. Lomax nonchalantly stretches out a hand to claim that ball. Coote. Bullock gets a hold of him. Powell completes the tackle. Here is Lomax. Kyle Amor. Powell, second attempt. Brings down the Cumbrian. Roby. Lomax. Oh, he thought it had opened up, and then Tommy Luluai arrived. Not so fast, son. Roby, little kick from Roby. The ball bounces up for Zeb Taylor, and Taylor dots it down. Did he run out of room? Was he offside? No try, said Chris Kendall. It was one of those, I reckon.
It didn't feel like a try, did it? I don't think the players, there wasn't a celebration, but more pressure, and Saints just piling it on this Wigan side. Mirror image of the first half. Well, it looks like he's onside on that angle. Difficult to see whether the foot is touching the ball. And it's gone up as no try from Chris Kendall. And he's in the perfect position.
You'd love to see that angle on the side, wouldn't you? You'd love to see, does James Roby get his foot to the ball? We couldn't see it on the first shot. On that one, it looks like it's on the line.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Well, from that angle, I would say that he's onside. The live call, though, is that he's offside.
Yeah. He's actually in the way,
his left boot,
isn't it?
Look at his left boot there. So he's onside there.
But he hasn't touched the ball yet.
No, I'm saying he's onside there. He's still onside there, Barry. Still onside, but you can't see the ball. You can't see the ball with the boot from that angle. And this is the difficult decision now for the video referee, Ben Fairley. It's been sent upstairs as a no try from Chris Kendall. And you just look at the lines on the pitch, where Zeb Taylor is, where the ball's kicked from Roby. And I think the video referee will just have to go with the live call here.
So the kick from Roby. Zeb Taylor there looked offside.
Yes, and as we said, as soon as it went up, didn't feel like a try. The players didn't celebrate. Obviously, the referee sends it up as a no try. You look at these things enough times, you can see what you want to see, can't you? I think the referee and the video referee, they agree. It's a no try.
We didn't even get to see the grounding. I'm not sure he managed to get that down before his feet went from underneath him and he ended up over the dead ball line. Here you go.
Well, this just shows that it is a game of inches built. The scoreboard suggests that. There's two nervous sides out there, both trying everything, both working really hard in defence and in attack.
So close to signing off on his farewell appearance for Saints.
Forward pass.
It was.
Oh, wow. What a big mistake from Wigan. Under that line speed pressure, Wigan, through Willie Isa, a simple hand-on play to Joe Bullock, who's probably, in his eagerness to get over the ad line, just a little bit in front of his teammates. There you go. Well, Saints will get the ball back.
Look at the glee.
Excitement. Do you remember when these sides met 4 weeks ago? I think it was Regan Grace that made the mistake, and Brad Singleton went up to him, rubbing his head. Very similar then from the way Saints reacted in the face of the Warriors.
Here is Louis McCarthy, Scarisbrook then. Well, Wigan had a let-off just a moment ago with that disallowed try. They thought they'd escaped, but they hadn't. They've handed possession back to Saints. Saints appealing for a high tackle on Bentley. Nothing doing from the referee. Matty Lees hits that ball at pace. James Graham going. Matty Lees will be expected to step up and fill the space left by the big man. Here is Roby, Lomax running. 5 metres out. Roby. Morgan Knowles now. And Wigan back on their own try line. Knowles wrestles himself free, and Roby runs. Roby for the line, but it's great defence.
Wow. Wow. What a game this is, Bill. How much pressure have Wigan been under? 2 low goal line dropouts, the forward pass that gave Saints the possession, and still they turn up to defend.
And it was Joe Bullock who was the culprit in gifting Saints possession with that that forward pass. Not Willie Isa as well, I suppose, but Bullock was there to bring down James Roby. It's been enthralling up here, John. John Wilkin on the sideline. What's it like down there?
Bill, unbelievable. This is one of the highest quality games of RL I've seen for some time. And one thing about Wigan's defence, a nuance of how they defend, is how well Bevan French fills in the defensive line. It's stifling Saints' ability to create numbers. Really smart fullback play. You don't half help but think Saints need more ambition with the ball. It looks like for the only points for them is going to come from a kick at the minute.
Thanks, John. As the kick comes from Jackson Hastings. And it's Regan Grace. Picks it up, returns it as far as Zach Hardacre and Willie Isa.
Well,
Coots.
Both sides really respecting the possession of the ball, both completing over 80%. Dominic Peru now with his first carry. So again, it just seems a bit too quick, that Willie Isa going again for Lachlan Coots, spots him.
Dom Peru is on his farewell appearance as well. He is moving on. He'll be with Toulouse Olympique next year. One of the candidates to take the vacant place in Super League. As the kick comes in, and Bevan French, it sits up nicely for the Wigan Warriors fullback.
There was just a moment in that last set of 6. Johnny Lomax spotted Brad Singleton. Expect some of those quicker, more agile players as we come up to the last quarter of this game to try and find a bigger man who's a little bit gassed, a little bit tired.
Sean O'Loughlin looking on anxiously from the sidelines. He has seen so much. And there is James Graham, who was signed by Mike Rush, the current Saints chief executive, when he was head of the Saints Academy all those years ago. And they signed James Roby the following week, and the two have gone on to be absolute stalwarts and stars of this St Helens side of the club. Here is Lomax. Lomax finds a bit of space, does well over the 40-metre line.
Johnny Lomax, the 05's just having a crack, looking up and going at those middle defenders. Again, you can see the Warriors through Oliver Gillard coming up really fast on the outside, trying to turn the Saints back into the middle of the field.
Massive defensive performance this from the Wigan Warriors, because St Helens have surely dominated possession in this second half.
It has been all Saints in this second half. The play, the ball speed just seems so much faster from them.
Here they are now with Fage. Fage gets some loft on that kick. And it's Burgess who goes for it, and
full penalty. Dominic Peru, I think it was, Bill. Now you can go up and you can challenge for the ball. And when Burgess goes up here, look at him focusing. Dominic Peru just goes up, spins his body round, and just takes him, nudges him from catching this ball cleanly.
Doesn't make any attempt to challenge for it.
Christian Wolf will be really disappointed with that.
So it lets Wigan off the hook. And can they make the most of the opportunity? Partington back on.
He was really good in his first spell. Partington, I thought he carried the ball really strongly.
Little dummy from French. And it's Jake Bibby.
Hasn't Regan Grace been good in defence? On his opposite number there, Jake Bibby has come up with a few.
Luluai, here is Hastings. Hastings floats the ball out to Gildart, cries of forward. Burgess does well to take the pass. Tangle of bodies down there, Gildart on the floor. And now here is Hastings, blood oozing from that cut on his brow. Willie Isa gets the ball to Hardacre, and there is Regan Grace. And the Welsh international does good. Hardacre felt that. Luluai into a bit of space. Farge is there. Farge is immediately pounced on by Wigan, and it's Wigan's turn to put the pressure on. Wigan's turn to force the goal line dropout.
That's the second one for Wigan Warriors. They've conceded 3, but only earned 2. And it was a wonderful kick, but what about the chase here? The defenders hold Theo Farge up. It's Bevan French, holds him up, and then the rest of the team come in to join. Approval from the coach.
Were St Helens complaining that Theo Farge was still in the air when he was taken?
I think timing, he's just down. Look at that. Morgan Knowles, Ollie Partington. He will not back down to anyone, Morgan Knowles. I think he come off second best though then.
Yeah.
He's back on his feet.
Yeah, the ref just want to have a little look at him then.
Yeah, they'll watch him.
When he rocks backwards here, you can see that he goes out and he's more or less out, and then he bounces back up.
And Partington's still got time to give him some friendly advice as the ball reaches Jake Bibby.
Do you think that's what he was saying?
Look at this.
Bibby plays the ball. Here is Tommy Luluai. On to Powell, on to Jackson Hastings. On a quick pass, and again.
Good hit.
But it comes from the pressure, doesn't it? It comes from the work from Tommy Makinson. He knows he's outnumbered, shuts that player down, and Bevan French, albeit wonderful skill to catch and pass, he's just not accurate enough to find Joe Burgess.
They'll get another set the way the ball comes off Tommy Makinson and goes into touch. So this will be Wigan's ball. You can see what it means to the coach, Christian Wolf. Bevan French has got to cut his space down. You've got to cut his thinking time down. Another set to contend with though here.
Great battle between the fullbacks, Coote and French going on. Has been going on. Hastings, Farrell cut down by Farge. Nakama up top. Powell, but they're only 10 metres away now, the Wigan Warriors. Here is Hastings. Hastings gets the pass away to Luluai. Luluai bursts through the first. The second line of defence is there to stop him. Powell, Partington. 5 metres or so away from that Wigan try line. Powell. Here is Luluai now. Luluai, ball over the top to Bibby, and Bibby, stumbles as he to touch, and there was the hint of an opportunity there.
But you see it, and you want to take that chance, but you just can't get there. You've been waiting for it for 62 minutes, and the ball here from Bevan French, and it's just that little jump in the air that takes the momentum away. When he gets this ball from French, it's just that, and then the little skip, and he falls over, and there is space in front of him. No, he takes that cleanly. That could have been a try, but again, what it means to both of these coaches, not only when you're coming up with big offensive players, but defensive players as well.
Yes, you can talk about the pass, but I'm absolutely blown away with both sides defensively this evening. Numbers getting over. Even when it looks like there's a chance, they're still getting there.
Let's go down to John Wilkin.
Yeah, it's a bit of an illusion how St Helens defend. So Kevin Nkwama and Jack Wellesby very aggressive, and that gives this illusion of space. But Saints work really hard in the loop around the back and really putting the Wigan wingers under so much pressure. We've spent a lot of time praising how Wigan have defended, but we're seeing some world-class defence from St Helens too.
Wormsley is back on the field. Thanks, John. Roby doesn't get great distance on that kick. It's into the arms of Joe Burgess. These two, they are running themselves into the ground, these two sides. Last game of the season, and they'll have a well-earned break after this. I'm not sure when pre-season will start. Probably will be after Christmas, early in the new year. March the 11th is the start of the new season. And of course it's World Cup year as well in 2021. Such a lot to look forward to. Well, who will go into it as reigning Super League champions? St Helens hold the crown at the moment. and they lead in this game by 2 points to 0.
Thomas Luluai just teasing the Saints defence, playing that ball short. At some point, it will go out of the back.
Hastings. Makinson is underneath it. He goes to ground before Burgess and Farrell pounce.
Well, he knows as soon as he gets this ball, Makinson, he's got to get to ground. So close to the try line. Burgess would have tried to hold him up and push him over the line again. He gets his hands on the ball. He just can't make the meters like he did last week. Tommy Makinson, Johnny Lomax again examining those forwards around the middle, around the play of the ball.
Roby. Wellesby. That's the 5th tackle. And Saints, with Coote kicking, are on their own 20, and the ball is in Wigan hands, 25 metres away from the Saints try line. Great kick pressure there. And what is it going to pay in terms of dividends for the Wigan Warriors? Farrell then, 20 metres away from the Saints try line. Morgan Smithies. He's held. Powell. Here is Jackson Hastings. Hastings to Luluai. Luluai, they're coming to this side again. They're coming to Bibby again. And Bibby will get in. Grand final try scorer last year. Grand final try scorer this year. And finally, the try scoring deadlock is broken. And Jake Bibby is the man who does it for the Wigan Warriors. Adrian Lamb, cool and composed. He knows there is a long way to go in this game, but his side have got their noses in front.
Well, 65 minutes to score the first try from that man, Jake Bibby. And it's going to come down to who can control their nerve going into the game, going into the final 15 minutes of the game. And Theo Fies losing the ball. Good pressure and defence from the Warriors. The ball shifted out. And they've done a decent job on cutting those players down, Regan Grace and Jack Wellesby. On that occasion, they just couldn't quite close the play down. You can see Wellesby just biting in, and then Regan Grace tries to just stop that play, but there's space on the edge for Bibby.
1 minute.
Adrian Lamb knows that that's the try, but this game is not over yet.
Jake Bibby, the man who was signed as a centre but has made his name as a wing in the last couple of months. He's played 7 of the last 8 games on the wing. And it's his try that has put the Wigan Warriors in front in this grand final. Zach Hardacre. He's kicked 62 goals this season, not far behind Coote, and he's kicked another one. Oh, no, it looked like it. Oh, and Hardacre runs away and holds his head.
A little smile from the Wigan centre, but he played a crucial role in that last try. A moment or two ago, I talked about Thomas Luluai feeding the players, giving a short pass, but he doesn't. He puts it behind the Zach Hardacre run, and that's what gives a slight opportunity to Bevan French, and he just hands it accurately into the path of Jake Bibby. First try on 65 minutes. Wow.
And Jake Bibby making it tries in 3 of the last 4 games for the Wigan Warriors. He really is in good form. Brad Singleton, head strapped back on the field for the Warriors. So 4-2.
Bill, we've talked all night about defence, and sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story, but the 2 high tackle counts, or the 2 players with the highest tackle counts, Sam Powell with 58, and listen to this one, 61 tackles from James Bentley, 62 tackles from James Bentley. Phenomenal.
He has been outstanding, especially since the lockdown, James Bentley, since the return from the lockdown, I should say. As Grace is underneath that kick, once to the Bradford Bulls. He was the 2017 Championship Young Player of the Year, James Bentley. Here is Coote.
Now, what will that try do to this game? Will it force teams to break open, use the ball, find some space? It's been That arm wrestle. Back reference the remark on probably 12 minutes the arm wrestle has started. Well, it's only just finished.
Here's Nagama playing the ball for Saints. Theophage, Lomax. Wigan's defence has been resilient so far tonight. Fifth tackle, and Fage gets some height on that kick, and Welsby was chasing, but French again solid underneath that high ball.
They need some strong defence here now, the Saints. You can see that they're going to find it really difficult, the Warriors. This ball goes up just again. How he's calm and composed at the back. Bevan French so controlled.
Here is Willie Isa, done his bit during the this pandemic crisis, as Willie Isa has had so many clubs, so many players throughout the Super League scene. Willie Isa helping out in the local community. Powell now. Here is Jackson Hastings. Hastings, big kick into the arms of Regan Grace, and they just have not allowed him any room to manoeuvre. Regan Grace. They saw what he did to the Catalan Dragons last week. That's the danger. Here is Makinson.
There is just no space to find for both of these sides. You know, no team's ever failed to score in a grand final. If that continues, you think that Saints are going to have a chance, and again it's the halves that are running. Talked about it early on in this second half. Theophage and Johnny Lomax getting their hands on the ball and asking some questions with that little show and go. They get the penalty when he tucks the ball under his wing. He steps off his right foot.
You've ended up there on the tackle, but the high shot was here.
And Chris Kendall just bringing him back. And Coots, is he eyeing up the posts?
Yeah, he was considering it for a second, wasn't it?
It did look like it.
Just 2 points between the sides.
It would be a tall, or well, where would he? Almost 40. Out. Well, he decided against. Anyway, here is Alex Walmsley, still sporting that superb Mo, doing his bit for Movember. Oh, look at that! Again. Look at the hobbling there. And here is Zebtea. 9 minutes to go. Saints trail 4-2. The reigning champions looking for a way through this Wigan defence. Fage was taken out by Hastings, and that is it a penalty though? Well, the players certainly objected to the challenge.
Well, the time's off now because of the injury to Alex Walmsley.
We'll have a look at the contact, but this is an... No, I think the head jolts back. I think the slip makes it look like it's a little bit too high. That's a great shot for me, Bill.
I think Theophage agreed.
He won't do. He's had his lights knocked out, hasn't he?
Well, in fact, Chris Kendall is on.
Come on. The touch judge has come on and give the penalty away to Jackson Hastings.
They've been hammer and tongue for 71 minutes.
That was high.
Well, that's what it means to Adrian Lamb. He knows now that this will be a simple 2 points for Lachlan Coote.
Yeah, he's going to take the 2 here. He considered it on the last set of 6. He's definitely going to take advantage of it.
I need 10 metres.
4-4.
10 metres.
I think Carney's right. You know, I think we're going for extra time. Golden point here. Never happened before in a grand final. But there's a cigarette paper between these two sides, and I don't know which way.
Well, the implication of that high shot from Jackson Hastings, the debatable high shot from Jackson Hastings, is that Lachlan Coote has, for him, a pretty straightforward kick. You'd have thought for the top goal kicker in the competition, 69 to his name. And this to level the scores with 8 minutes, 7 minutes in fact, on the clock. The crowd is hushed. Shh. Coote is on target. The sides are level at 4 points apiece.
Still can't call this game. We couldn't call it at the start of the game. 7 minutes to go, we can't call it. For the Saints fans who are sat at home, Alex Walmsley's just gone back to the dead ball line. He's going to try and continue. As James Graham getting ready to come onto the field.
What a finale this would be for James Graham and Sean O'Loughlin if their final game went to a golden point decider. There they are, the two of them on the sidelines, two warriors about to hang up their boots. There is Walmsley. Haven't seen any of his rampaging runs.
They've handled him, haven't they? They've got up on him quick. A lot of wrestle, no penalties given, as we've said, or very few penalties given for working in and around the ruck.
Move, Tommy! Hold here. Hold, go for.
Here is Zebtea.
Move!
So that's the fifth tackle. Much too far away for anybody to think of going for 1 point. And the kick is straight into the arms of Bevan French. Not under any great pressure, and Wigan will try and now force their way down the other end of the field with coming up to the last 5 minutes now.
It was just a high kick from Saints, then trying to buy that extra bit of time to get near to Bevan French instead of on the ground. Jake Bibby was up in the line on the left, and Bevan French soon come across to close it down.
3 tackles gone as Hastings goes sideways. 40-metre line there, just inside their own half. That's the fifth tackle. So the ball with Hastings. Doesn't get great depth on that, but Regan Grace is underneath it, and Grace nowhere for him to go.
And Johnny Lomax now just involving himself, just trying to bring his team onto the ball, give him some real encouragement as Jack Wellsby runs into a cherry and white wall.
He's making that familiar little skip as he takes the ball into the challenge. And Hastings and Farrell with the tackle. Walmsley was the dummy runner. And Morgan Knowles tackled just inside his own half. Here is Walmsley. They need one of his bulldozing, bullocking runs to get him up the middle of the field, but he's stopped in his tracks, and Fage gets the kick away. French is underneath it. Nagama was challenging, but what a take! What a take from Bevan French under great pressure.
Do you know, with so much at stake, how do you stay that composed when you can see an opposition player challenging you in the air like this?
He's been under the blowtorch all evening, hasn't it? 2 or 3 defenders in front of him. High kicks, he's had to leave the ground, knowing he might get a clout. Well, Sean O'Loughlin returns to the field. Will that lift and inspire the Wigan Warriors?
Here is Hastings. Hastings gets the ball to Bevan French. Theophage, good tackle down low from the French international. So the ball is back with Hastings, and Hastings leathers it downfield into the arms of Grace, and Grace again will wind up and try and find a way. But look at that cherry and white wall ahead of him.
We're going to extra time here, lads. Both sides are going to really struggle in the final 3 minutes to make any meters to get in striking distance of a drop goal.
Here is Coote, just inside the Saints' half. 3 tackles gone. Walmsley, Willie Isa, Sean O'Loughlin, Oliver Partington doing the tackling. Here is Lomax. That's the 5th tackle.
Theophage.
Fage is standing back. Is he going to go for it? He can't get any height on it.
No. The previous play was at the wrong side of the field. He was already set. It ended up being just slightly skewed from St Helens' perspective.
And with that play and that kick from Theophage, Wigan now will have 7 tackles. An extra tackle, 20 metres from the line, to get in striking distance to have a goal themselves.
Gildart. Here's Luluai, Sean O'Loughlin. Well, it looks like his final appearance is going to be one that goes to golden point extra time. 2 minutes to go, unless Wigan now in possession can work themselves into it. It's six again. The hooter sounds on. It's a penalty.
That could be it. Theo Fage was called offside by the referee, Chris Kendall. He got involved, he gave the penalty away. There was a lot of panic that set in because he knew that that play was too quick.
Well, Zach Hardacre, let's not forget when Jake Bibby scores that try in the right-hand corner for Wigan, Zach Hardacre can't convert and turn 4 into 6. And the penalty from a desperate Saints side, knowing they were busted, realising, recognising that they had 6 more tackles to defend. Theo Fage, I don't know whether he looked at the worst of 2 evils and thought, we need to buy some time somehow. Is Zach Hardacre, does he have the right, correct minerals to turn 2 into 4? Here's the one he missed. It's just it.
That's the one from Jake Bibby's try that hit the crossbar. Now then, he's just inside his own half, is Zach Hardacre, and he's got the chance with just over a minute of this game to go to put Wigan ahead and maybe seal this grand final. Hardacre launches it. Hardacre, it's just short. It's 4 points each. And the game will go surely now to golden point extra time. The first in Super League history.
This has been brilliant. Really entertaining from 2 top sides. Who says you need loads of tries for a game to be exciting?
Oh, the anguish of the coach of the year. Last 30 seconds. Here is Lachlan Coote. Who's Nagama? And Nagama, Gildart, it needed that tackle from Gildart. Coote gets the ball away. 4 tackles gone. Fage down the short side. Is there drama yet in this game?
Tommy Makinson,
they're in range. Makinson got his first career drop goal last season in the grand final. Oh, he's hit the post. The chasers are on. The ball is disappeared. It's Welsby. Welsby might have got the try. Jack Welsby might have got the try.
He has got that, Bill.
The ball hit the post. And Jack Welsby, the 19-year-old, just got to the ball in time. And right at the death, in the final seconds of this game, Jack Welsby has stolen it, has he? Tommy Lulu, I cannot believe it.
I think he has. It went up as a try. It hit the post. Bevan French didn't know what to do. Tommy Makinson, right-footed drop goal.
Is he onside?
Is he onside there? Is he onside? It's gone up as a try. This is a phenomenal finish. You give up on players like this if you don't see it going over the line.
He's onside. He's onside.
Massive call for the video ref, Ben Thaler.
That's fine for me.
He's onside.
That's fine. And then, do you know, like, you're standing back and you're looking at the sticks and you're looking at the ball going up. Bevan French, all of a sudden, a bit of panic sets in from him, and Jack Welsby, all of a sudden, accelerates. The Blackbrook club in St Helens, where he played all his junior rugby, the back end of his amateur career, started off at Shevington. Look at this. He gets it, his right leg's up.
My word. Where's his...
Oh, my word.
He's got it, Bill.
I know what you're looking at, but I think his foot is in play. The ball is controlled and put down. Cue the celebrations from the St Helens players.
Where's his right foot?
It's up in the air. It's up in the air. That's a try.
The most dramatic
about that
to the most engaging game. I can't remember a game like this, and I've watched a lot of games of rugby league.
Jack Welsby, the youngest player on the pitch, the coolest head on the pitch, and the player who has decided this grand final. What a finish! What a finish here at the KCOM Stadium. The Saints players celebrate the Wigan players are distraught, absolutely distraught.
It is the cruelest way to lose a game for a Wigan side that's given absolutely everything in this match, but it's all about taking your chances. Tommy Makinson, he has a crack for the drop goal. Bevan French tries to judge the bounce. He gets that wrong. Jack Welsby turns up, gets the ball, puts it down and wins the game for his side.
Do you know what? That is what dreams are made of. That you've grown up, you've watched professional players play in the grand final, and you score the winning try on the final play, the final second. Saints go back to back, and all from that youngster, Jack Welsby.
This has been a classic.
Phenomenal.
Classic.
Well, Jack Welsby actually lost against Wigan in last year's Academy Grand Final. Christian Wolfe and Richard Marshall alongside him. I don't think they can quite believe what they're seeing. I don't think anybody here can believe what they're seeing. Down below us, James Graham is celebrating. What a dramatic end to his career, his final game. And it ends like this, and a certain irony that Graham bows out at the age of 35, and it's the next generation, Jack Welsby, who have sealed this contest. And Christian Wolfe, what a first year it has been. It is back-to-back titles for St Helens then. And a second grand final win for James Graham, and Jack Welsby gets the congratulations of his coach. He cannot believe it.
Nobody can believe it. But like you said, the oldest player and the youngest player now embrace. He's thinking, you've done it for me, kid. You've done it. And that's what it means, the emotion. And let me tell you, I've played in these grand finals. You win, I've won, been beaten, and you absolutely give it everything, and you come off a loser, and there's no tomorrow. But that's what it means when you win those big games.
That knee's not hurting him now.
No, that's the tonic. That's the tonic that you're after.
And Saints, well, this will go down in history, and Sean O'Loughlin, no glorious end to his glorious career, but a memorable end nevertheless. What an end to the season. What a season it has been, a season that has coped with the pandemic and with all the problems that lockdown brought. A feeling almost at one stage that we might not even get to this point. And all credit to the game, to the players and to the coaches that we have got to this stage. And then we get to the grand final, and these two sides put on a performance in a game like this. Woof. That is unbelievable.
You enjoyed
How
it,
do you,
Bill?
I have. How do you pick out the Harry Sunderland Award winner? Well, it's James Roby who's got that. He's with Jenna.
James